Everyone, welcome to our latest LinkedIn Live. Today we're going to talk about, why do I need full stack observability? Why do I need FSO? So we're going to talk about what it is, the benefits, and how we can help to maximize business value through FSO. So as always, I have with me Ken Fee, and we're going to get to the bottom of that today. So hi, Ken.
Hey, Jen. Thanks. Thanks for everyone joining today.
Yeah, so there may be some people who aren't really, don't know what FSO is. So could you go over that just for a moment?
Sure. Um, the way I see it at its core, full stack full stack observability. That's a mouthful, or FSO, um, and it's really a collection of tools deployed across the enterprise. And the goal here is to measure performance, optimize infrastructure, and quickly identify root cause of application and performance and potential customer experience issues.
Mhm.
Um, every vendor deploy has they look at FSO a little bit differently. Their tool does X and Y, or maybe X, Y, and Z. Uh,
Mhm.
but the core areas where we really see customers deploying these tools: application performance monitoring and management, uh, and user experience monitoring,
Mhm.
infrastructure optimization, the traditional network visibility, and then you take that into the next kind of level of network visibility. It's about security visibility and being able to respond appropriately.
Okay, wonderful. So, how does that translate to business value?
Business value is it's incumbent upon every organization to figure out what is valuable to them.
Mhm.
It could be everything from customers being able to complete any transaction, e-commerce transaction on your website. Um, it might be a customer experience kind of thing. I spend a lot of time on the phone with call centers, whether it's travel or something, uh, and every one of them tell me that their app is slow and it's going to take a few minutes to load, or it's going to take a few minutes. It's going to take longer for me to get my problem solved because their application is performing poorly. Uh, and for me personally, as a consumer, it kind of help it. It doesn't help me think better of them. It helps me think less of them. Um, and that's the challenge. And it's a reputational thing in a lot of cases, but it's also a productivity thing. If your knowledge workers can't leverage an application that you've got hundreds, if not thousands, of people using to do their job, and it's performing poorly, and it's taking them longer to do that job, your cost of labor is going up dramatically. So there's all kinds of different aspects around what where an observability solution or a collection of tools that help you get that end-to-end visibility, because there's app, there's network infrastructure, there's security infrastructure, uh, and then the end user monitoring component.
Uh-huh.
Well, that this end user is coming from the internet, over VPN at home, and this end user is working in an office in Boise, Idaho, and there's a lot of variables here. It's always been, that's been a challenge over time, is how do you build that collection of tools and dashboards that give you visibility uh, to prevent that downtime. Downtime costs. You can figure those out fairly straightforward. In an e-commerce environment, it's easy. The site works and it generates $100,000 a minute. When the site's down, you know, it's, you know, it's a lot of money. Um, but that soft and more hard to get at cost is that customer or employee productivity. That you might be losing customers to poor performance. I can't
Right.
tell you how many shopping carts I've abandoned because the e-commerce site isn't going fast enough, or it hangs up. Uh, and those
Here.
are lost dollars. So I think we've all experienced that.
Yeah. So, I know you touched on that just now a little bit, but, what are the more concerning situations that a business could run into without FSO, something a little more grave than an abandoned shopping cart.
Well, if your business is selling things online, that's grave.
Yeah,
So
exactly. Yeah.
uh, there's nothing more grave than that.
Mhm.
But when it comes to the travel industry or the hotel industry, uh, it's all about generating revenue, or it might be about clearing an insurance claim. If your insurance claims processors can't get things done on a timely basis, and they're expected to process 50 claims a day, but the way the systems are performing, they can only get through 25 claims a day. You've lost 50% of your productivity there. That's a grave concern. So, it's gravity is all a level of, you know, who owns that from the business perspective. And it is really a business conversation. It's dollars and cents. It's capability. It's productivity. There's lots of things here.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's say, somebody says, okay, I need to look into this. I need to make this part of my business. What is a good first step? Um, how does somebody start on that?
Yeah, and that's and as with anything, the answer is it depends. Uh, but
Always.
yeah, but the short answer is you have to know where you are. That's key. We generally take a look at your people, your process, and your tools, and figure out what tools do you have that you're using for observability. Are they tools that are universally accessible by your entire uh, infrastructure and application team, or does everybody have their own little piece of that?
Mhm.
Is there any correlation going on between these tools? You're looking for integration, lock-in, or not. You're not look. Nobody's looking for lock-in, but what you're looking for is tightly integrated. My app performance tool does this. My infrastructure monitoring tool does that. My end user monitoring tool does this other thing. Now, how do I bring this all together and correlate it so that I'm ahead of the game? I'm proactively uh, reaching out and fixing a problem before it gets reported to me by the end user, which is the most common way these kind of performance issues get called out. Is the end user reports a problem. What FSO purports to do is to bring that back to where we're leading the effort. We're proactively uh, fixing problems before they become a problem. And so, back to your original question is, where do you start? You start out with an assessment. And, we do dig into your people, your process, and your tools. And that's uh, who do you have dedicated to it? Um,
Mhm.
what are your key metrics? What are your process? What do you care about? What's the most important part of your business from an application performance perspective or a
Mhm.
network performance perspective? And then what are the tools you're using? Are they the right tools? Do they integrate well?
Mhm.
Could they integrate better? And so we've got a visibility, or not a visibility assessment, observability assessment
Mhm.
that we do for customers. And if you want to get signed up to that, Jen's going to share that link in the comments.
Yep, it's in the comments right now, and that's great. And actually, I had a question for you, Ken. Somebody reached out to me. They couldn't make it with us live today, but they wanted to make sure they got their question in. And so they asked, how long does it take the typical customer to deploy FSO solutions?
Um, Deploying an FSO solution is that's an interesting question. It's kind of a wide ranging question.
Mhm.
Um, Depends on the tool or tools that you select. Depends on what you have in place. I've seen people deploy tools in a matter of you know a couple hours to a couple of weeks that give them the data they want. And again, uh, it's a process. So
Mhm.
um, it's just like any large complex thing that you're trying to build or assess. You have to do that one bite at a time. So
Mhm.
it doesn't need to be a 6 to 12 month journey. It could be lots of 1 to 2 week journeys. depending on your tool selection and where you want to take that. I hope that answers the question.
Okay, absolutely. I mean, I think that that's a great answer. So thank you for sharing all that info with us today. If anybody has any questions about that assessment, please reach out to either Ken or myself or anybody at BTA, and we'd be happy to help you. Thanks so much for hanging out with us today. And if you have any questions about who we are as a company, as always, go to gobta.com. So we hope you'll join us next time.
Okay, great. Thanks, Jed.
Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.